This message has no affiliation with the Department of War. All right, welcome back to the Martin Memo, everyone, where we cut through the noise to defend truth, Christian values, and a genuine America First that builds our nation stronger. I am Zachary Martin. I'm an active duty American soldier. I'm a college student, and I am a proud Christian conservative. Today we are exposing the ultimate irony: Nick Fuentes' America First. This is a movement that claims to prioritize our country, but in reality, it puts America last, weakening us through isolationism, division, and hate. Today we'll show how this ideology harms our security, unity, and future. As January 21st, 2026 marks the first year into Trump's second term, his successes highlight the contrast. This isn't just a critique, it is a wake-up call to true patriots and real conservatives. Now let's dive into this. This is the Martin Memo. The Martin Memo. Now, to understand America First, we have to know who the mastermind behind it is. That mastermind is Nicholas J. Fuentes. So, Nick Fuentes was born in 1998 in Illinois. He was raised Catholic, and he started college at Boston University studying politics, but dropped out to focus on his online career. He came onto the scene in 2017 when he attended the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville. That event drew huge backlash, as we're very well aware. That also launched Biden's campaign, as he says, and Fuentes' involvement got him banned from mainstream platforms like YouTube and Twitter. He bounced around but built a loyal following through live streams on sites like Rumble and Cozy TV. His show, America First with Nicholas J. Fuentes, started in 2017 and airs weekday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time. It's a mix of political commentary, culture war takes, and Christian nationalist themes. Followers call themselves Groypers, which is a play on the Groyper frog meme, and they're mostly young Gen Z men who feel the mainstream rights like Turning Point USA or CPAC is too soft on issues like immigration, Israel, and traditional values. Now, I may add that this group really did not take off until the death of Charlie Kirk. A lot of these young Gen Z men followed Charlie Kirk, but after, they were so hurt and disappointed that they almost became radicalized and followed someone like Nicholas Fuentes. People like Candace Owens fueled the fire by saying, well, maybe there's a conspiracy. Maybe the Jews were actually behind the killing. This kind of rhetoric is what gets people radicalized and what hurts American politics. Shame on Candace Owens, among others, but shame on her for invoking this type of behavior. And now because of it, we are seeing Gen Z radicalized. This is not what we wanted. But nonetheless, I digress. Fuentes positions himself as the voice for a reactionary right, pulling the GOP further toward nationalism and anti-immigration policies, and opposition to what he calls Zionist influence in politics. Now, I've followed Fuentes for quite a bit now, and he has made some terrible statements. He's praised Hitler, calling him very cool or right. He's done the same with Joseph Stalin, and he's also denied aspects of the Holocaust. He's promoted views widely seen as anti-Semitic and misogynistic. He's been condemned by mainstream conservatives, including Trump, who said anti-Semites have no place in the party. So what does the America First mean here? It's not the isolationist slogan from the 1940s. It's a modern, far-right version focused on a couple of different things. A few of those being white identitarianism and preserving America's demographic core, Christian nationalism, upholding God and society, traditional gender roles in opposition to feminism and LGBTQ rights, anti-immigration with mass deportations, ICE brutality, and no amnesty, isolationist foreign policy, no aid to Israel, Ukraine, criticism of Jewish influence in media and government, and pulling the GOP rightward, or replacing it if needed. Fuentes has said he's building a right-wing flank to make the party truly reactionary. I can see why this movement appeals to disaffected young men who feel betrayed, and he is gaining influence as we speak. Fuentes interviewed Tucker Carlson in late 2025, sparking huge debates in the GOP about anti-Semitism versus nationalism. Tucker Carlson, you are a problem as well. I used to love watching you on Fox News. I've seen many of your takes and views, and I agree with most of them. But you are a part of the problem as well. When you prop up people like Nick Fuentes and give them a pedestal and praise them, that is why we have divides within the GOP coalition. We cannot continue to see this happen in our politics, or we are going to be just as bad as the left side. People talk about that big split in the left side. It's occurring now on the right, and it is only growing. Now, it's worth mentioning that in 2026, Fuentes broke with Trump completely. He called Trump not Hitler enough, which he said was a jab, but to me, that would be a compliment. I don't want to be compared to Hitler. He's planning a 2026 midterm takeover through his foundation that's raised over $500,000 in donations. He's hiring staff, he's pushing litmus tests for GOP candidates, and he's exposing what he calls the Israeli First Lobby. As of January 2026, Fuentes is more influential than ever. Millions of views, high Rumble engagement, and mainstream coverage all over the place. We all had seen him on the Piers Morgan interview, which was atrocious, mind you. But he's also growing. He's reviving the foundation, planning midterm guides, and infiltrating politics. But there's tension. His anti-Trump stance alienates a lot of the MAGA folks out there. And recent incidents like the Miami nightclub video, I don't know if you had seen that, but he was singing controversial songs with Andrew Tate. That all draws backlash. His extremism is gaining ground. Supporters see it as the future of nationalism, but either way, it is dividing the rights between pro-Israel conservatives and isolationists. Now, before we move on to the next segment, to wrap it up, Nicholas Fuentes' America First is a far-right movement redefining conservatism around exclusionary nationalism, Christian traditionalism, and anti-globalism. It's controversial, labeled extremist by many, but it's resonated with young conservatives frustrated with the GOP. Now, we're going to zero in on the harms of Nick Fuentes' America First policy, with a deep dive into its isolationist core. We'll explore how this approach weakens America globally, divides us at home, and ties us into troubling character issues. To start off, isolationism. Fuentes' version means cutting aid to allies like Israel and Ukraine, avoiding foreign entanglements, and focusing solely inward, which this sounds appealing, right? However, it is a trap. First, let's look at the security risks. Without U.S. support, voids end up forming. And guess who's going to fill those voids? Yep, China and Russia. As ABC Religion and Ethics warned in November 2025, this America First isolationism abandons Israel, weakening our Middle East stance against Iran. Fuentes' anti-Israel rhetoric isn't neutral. It's tied to anti-Semitic tropes about Jewish control. In 2026, with Iran's threats escalating, pulling back could spark wars that we cannot ignore, costing American lives later on. Now, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Our relationship with Israel is great. We are an ally with them. We provide them American military power. They do the same in return. We give them goods, they give us money, vice versa, right? We have a very good relationship with Israel. Additionally, they have some of the best military intelligence in the world that they share with us. It would be wrong and stupid to cut them off because they are an ally and they are the only democratic country within the sandbox. And it's not just about security either, right? Economically, it is a disaster. Isolationism means tariffs and trade wars, which hurt American workers. Buchanan-style policies, Fuentes echoes, led to lost jobs in the 90s, and today they would spike inflation and isolate us from global markets. Fuentes is also pushing harder isolationism against Trump's Venezuela moves, labeling it as imperialism while ignoring the drug cartels harming Americans. Yeah, that makes sense. What Trump is doing also, which I uncovered 2 episodes ago, is he is bringing the Monroe Doctrine and big stick diplomacy back to life. He is saying the Western Hemisphere is off limits and don't even think about messing around. But Fuentes' politics are not only in question. His character is too. A glaring recent example is his racist assaults on Vice President J.D. Vance and his wife Usha Vance. Usha is an accomplished lawyer of Indian descent, someone who actually represents the American dream. She has immigrant roots contributing to our nation, not taking away. But Fuentes called Vance a race traitor for marrying her, using slurs like Jeet, which is a derogatory term for Indians, and mocking their family. He sneered at their son Vivek's name and even twisted Vance's defense. This is the guy that many look up to, but I guarantee you most don't know that type of language that he uses. This is not someone that I want representing the GOP and the Republican Party moving forward. This is someone who I wish we would nip in the butt and stop listening to him and stop propping him up. Trump's America First is right because it works. In his first year back, he resolved 8 global conflicts through strength and deals, not endless wars. Bombing Iran halted their nuclear threat. Capturing Maduro in Venezuela crushes cartels, flooding our streets with drugs, saving American lives in the process. He's not an isolationist. He is a deal maker. The deal maker in chief, as people call, which I love, by the way. But he recommitted to NATO while demanding fair shares which strengthen alliances. His 2026 resolution for peace on earth pivots to leadership, not withdrawal. Economically, tariffs on China protect jobs and military buildup deters aggression. Peace through strength. I'll say it again. I love that term, by the way. But contrast that with Fuentes. Trump's policy rejects hate and unites the right. Endorsing Lindsey Graham for 2026 just shows balance. Hawkish where needed, but restrained elsewhere. Trump wants America to benefit from the world, not hide from it. So the bitter irony of Nick Fuentes' America First puts America last. Through isolationism that invites enemies, division that weakens unity, and hate that betrays our values. True patriots reject this, embrace Trump's proven path, and as Christians and conservatives, let's build a strong, united America. Now it's time for my favorite segment of the show, where you ask us questions throughout the week. We write them down on slips of paper, and then I answer them live on air. You are getting my pure, authentic reaction, and I have no prior knowledge on what is being asked. Let's dive in. Who do you want to interview the most? Probably Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is a person that I look up to. I've listened to him for probably almost 10 years now, a little less than that. And I just really admire what he has done and how he built Daily Wire. I want to replicate something similar to that. But I really like Ben Shapiro. We have a lot, pretty much virtually all the same thoughts behind different policies and politics. His movie takes are questionable, don't get me wrong, but it would be an honor to interview him. I really do like him, and hopefully we can make that happen one day. But yeah, Ben Shapiro for sure. Shifting focus, I'm super excited because I get to go to the March for Life in DC this weekend. This is a pre-recorded episode because I will be live on the ground in the DC area to participate in this march. I'm super excited. I'm very passionate for protecting the unborn, so hopefully I'll get to see some of y'all there. If not, I'm posting all the highlights on this channel in the upcoming weeks. I'm, again, super blessed, super excited. I love protecting the innocent and the unborn, so humbled for that opportunity. I also got some press passes, so I'll get to see up close J.D. Vance, among others. It's going to be a great time. Looking forward to it. I'm also going to go to a young professionals dinner later that night, so lots of great footage and lots of great things to come. But yeah, really looking forward to it. The weather, though, very questionable. Not looking forward to that aspect. But with that being said, well, folks, that is all we have in store for today. Be sure to join us on Monday as we have yet another Martin Memo Monday, where I go live on YouTube and I answer your questions and just talk about a lot of the different politics that happen throughout the week. So be sure to share your thoughts on X, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the Martin Memo, and do not forget to subscribe on YouTube. Now, in case I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. This is the Martin Memo. The Martin Memo.